So welcome back for another scene in this life. The Get a Fenris venue set in beautiful Duluth, Minnesota, on the Sept of the Hearth's fire, where at least two bitches are in motion. They're on the hunt. They're on the fucking prowl because Charlotte has a shadow and she can't seem to shake it. And I mean, let's face it, she hasn't tried that hard. It's debatably potentially very useful and kind of eerily deferential shadow. It's not that bad, really. As shadows go, she could have worse ones. But nonetheless, she is on the hunt for a man with a big red beard. There's only so many of them to go around, really. So it should only take so much canvassing, right? And probably nudging people occasionally and asking if they've seen him. One way or another. She'll close in. Where are you, McD?
And of course, Sean will find the silhouette of one person she will think is the McD. Sat on the banks of the lake, there is a figure. Sat on a box, it seems, a large hat. Seems to be things dangling from it. You see him as he pods about, sorting something out, almost like just kind of fiddling with something in his hands. And as you get closer, it becomes apparent exactly what he's doing. As he picks up that fishing rod and just casts it out, and plonks himself happily back on his box, puts the fishing rod on the mount, pulls a nice hot cup of something out of a flask he's got. Just seems to be happily enjoying his morning.
Oh, he is not alone in the hot drinks department. Charlotte has brought along a thermos, thoughtfully stocked thermos. As she comes puttering around and pauses for a moment because is that really? Did he cut a hole in the ice? What? You know what? She's not going to think too hard about it. Never does to think too hard about it. But nonetheless, she will putter up alongside, kind of just clunking along through a lot of, I assume, snow and no small amount of dead leaves and whatnot. Fairly audible on the approach. One hand plunked in the pocket, as usual, the other one grasping the thermos. Kind of turning a glance because she's pretty sure if she starts yelling, he'll be like, "You're scaring the fish!" You can't have that.
And as you plunk down, he turns. There's a smile as he sips from his thing, and obviously just leans his head back to show throat.
She just kind of makes a very quick, the little hand wavy of like, eh.
Well, hello there.
Hello back. She'll pause, kind of turn a puzzled glance over her shoulder to see if Yolana's going to actually meet up or if she's going to do her skulking thing again.
She's there. She's just letting you talk. She seems perplexed by this idea of fucking drilling a hole in the ice just to fish out of it.
So, Alistair, I'm just, you know what? I'm just going to start by being fucking bold. It's okay if I'm bold. Kind of shoots glance over. Grinning faintly because, why not? He'll probably have a pretty entertaining reaction.
I'm not going to say no. I mean, if you want to be bold, right? There's a lot of things you can do. I mean, I just let out with it. They're fucking selling around here.
You're hands down one of the VIPs when we got sucked into that fucking realm. And some of the things you said, they meant a lot to me too. Kind of resonated, you know? I need to be pulling together a pack. I'd really like you in it.
He takes a sip from, clearly now you can see it's tea. A pack, you say? And obviously, I guess you'd be the alpha.
Imagine so.
I am curious though, Charlotte. What exactly is it that makes you drawn towards myself?
There's a moment. She kind of rolls her lips in, and as she, puts together her answer, starts the whole process of like you pull off the cap from the thermos, then you unscrew the little cup from the thermos, and then you pour the things. Yeah, it's a process. Whatever the case, she's pouring as she answers. It's what you did for Patema. I'd had a similar thought, but Layla started falling back, started getting pulled away. Didn't have a hand free. And I thought, we just have to watch. But you didn't let that happen. I didn't have to tell you anything. I didn't have to say anything. You did that of your own nature. That's the kind of people I want to have around me.
Do you know why I did that, Charlotte?
I could probably make guesses, but no. We don't know each other that well. I can't say I do. I'd be eager to hear it.
Well, it's very simple, you see. Because we're Garu. End of the day, we are born to die and live to be remembered. And that right there, what I saw, was not just an echo of our wormish temptation. It was just straight suffering beyond death. Now that points actually something even nobody deserves. So I thought I'd put me balls to the wind and even have a go. What's the worst that could happen? She could have decapitated me. Oh well. Smiles.
She kind of brightens up a bit. And for what it's worth, the concoction she's pouring out of that thermos smells like cocoa. Also smells no small amount like rum. You might as well lace that shit. Gives the illusion of warmth, even if that's a terrible idea. She's got enough layers to handle it. You see, it's the perfect answer, Millie. Kind of the sort of thing I'd hope to hear.
Wow, perfect depends on your point of view, but I don't mind going against a bit of a taboo, because that name is a bit of a taboo around here.
Yeah. Well, she did a lot of horrible things. After some horrible things were done to her. That seems to kind of be the cycle of it, doesn't it?
Welcome to war.
Yeah.
But an offer to join a pack under an Adrian Glasswalker. And I assume looks out to Yolanda. The Fury?
The Fury. And there will be the Shadow Lord. Omega. There's a Cleith somewhere. She kind of gestures vaguely towards the city. Named David. The Gallows have asked me to take him in and teach him something.
So you're rounding up other Cleats now, Charlotte. We're like you're fucking babysitting.
She gives a vague shrug. I've been too long without a pack, and truth be told, rose through the ranks really fucking fast. I'm more comfortable with you guys anyways.
I'm not going to say no. Smiles.
I appreciate that.
But I need to know a little more than just, you need me in your pack. Because I am flattered, honestly, I am, to be asked by an Adrian to join a pack. That's just something.
I'm
But
surprised none of them beat me to it.
Well, honestly, I can't be that desirable then, can I?
You're quite the personality. Grinning faintly over her little thing. Offers the thermos over to Yolana. Like, makes an offer at least.
She takes it because an Adrian gave it to her.
Does she just take it and hold it stiffly?
Yes.
Fucking.
Well, come on now, spit it out. What details, Charlotte? Details.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought. She, like, kind of glances away from Yolana, who stands there, just holding an open thermos.
Come on, shove some more coal in the fire. Get it moving.
I'm a far cry from a galliard. But no, you've got a lot of personality, and if that's any example, you're going good places. Got a lot of potential.
Just had a
You got a
total
lot of
ditz
heart, you got
moment,
a lot of
didn't you?
voice.
A total ditz. You just had a moment, didn't you, Charlotte? I was asking about the pack. Details.
Oh,
Details, Charlotte. I know you're talking about me. Just kind of pokes her on the forehead. Dunk.
just waves the hand again, like, bleh. I've been a long time without one. My first one wasn't the best example. I mean, to do better this time around. I intend to find a spirit that suits as a totem. And doing a lot like what I saw you do and what I've been doing a lot of, which is trying to remind people that we're fighting beside each other, not against each other.
Fair enough. Nothing wrong with that. Well, there you have it then. Consider me interested.
A lot of the kind of work that I have set on, and I mean to set all of us on, is she kind of nods out towards the city and then back around towards a portion of the lake where Skyripper keeps his camp. Making sure that the work that needs to be done is done. Making sure that people who need support have it on their initiatives. So that when time comes that we need to pull together, they have at least one more reason to pull together, one thing in common.
It's a very noble goal. Couldn't have heard it better from a glass walker myself. There's a hint of a smile there.
She just kind of, again, she seems, if anything, a bit, I mean, even a bit sheepish, but still at least a touch amused. It's nice to hear someone say it without spitting it at me.
What?
She leans over as though sharing a great secret. Leans in a little bit. My tribe doesn't seem to be especially popular.
Oh, are you surprised? This is a whole sept full of traditionals.
So it is.
You know, and you walk around with your printers and your mobile phones. You expect everybody to like, it's not going to work like that. They're still communicating with tin cans, Charlotte. Tin cans and a string.
Yeah, it does feel that way sometimes, though I am woefully between phones at the moment. My last one exploded. Though, hey, we did learn a little more about the habits of the local spiral pack. Just got mauled in the process by my own phone. Ultimate betrayal, really. I don't think he appreciated me trying to take a picture of him. True story. Though this picture's worth 1,000 words, I need to figure out how to get it out of my head. Get it on paper. Other people can see it.
You see, what you need is an artist.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, then. Sorted. Have fun.
Have you met a lot of artists on Sept?
I may be a man of many talents, Charlotte, but I am not an artist. In that regard.
I haven't met anyone who is.
Then you have to go find one. Or sit down, just
Put up an ad on Craigslist.
a what?
Corinne shakes her head. It was stupid.
Right. Okay.
It's a website where people ask for and offer any number of skills, items, and unmentionables. I'd probably get a pervert who thought they were painting me naked or something. Even after expressly telling them that wasn't the plan. And then I'd have to chase them out. And I mean, a lot of waste of time, really.
Oh, fair enough. So it's a porn site. I get it.
Practically.
It's alright. I wasn't raised in the nation, child. I know all about this kind of stuff, you know.
And you don't know about Craigslist?
No, I know about Gumtree. Gumtree, Charlotte. If I look like a fucking American. Yeah, fucking Yanks.
I know
Hmm?
about Gumroad.
Gumtree. You know about Gumtree? No. Didn't think you did.
Nope.
No. Gumtree. Google it.
I will.
I sold a DVD player on there once. Got quite a bargain.
You did?
Aye. Whole £30. Absolute steal.
You sold it for an absolute steal.
Aye.
Oh, all
I did
right.
steal it, but
Fair enough. That makes it all profit. Can't be mad.
well, it was just laying around. I thought, you know what? I could use a bit of beer money. I was a lot wilder back then.
Who were you?
Well, I say a lot wilder, a lot less in. No, that I don't know. It's hard to explain. A lot less disciplined, I guess. It's the best way to put it.
This slideshow is beautiful right now. I'll take your word for it.
You're gonna have to.
I really am.
Doesn't mean the fire doesn't still burn, Charlotte.
Ah, you're practically glowing.
You goddamn right I am.
Oh, Lord. But yes, it's long past time I put it back together. You've got a lot of promise. You've got a lot of the kind of initiative that I desperately want.
That's all well and good. Just don't fuck it up, and I'm sure it'll be fine.
Well, that is the plan. That is the going plan of
Right.
action.
It is a very good plan. I recommend you stick to that plan until we at least get together and sort some things out. Because then, then I'm allowed to voice my own opinion thoroughly.
I'll be happy to have it.
Oh, you won't have a choice.
Be surprised how much I value an honest opinion.
Oh, good. Shouldn't be afraid to say anything. Never. Balls to the wall. That's how I like it.
Never afraid, just aware of the consequences.
Oh, aye.
Oh, and I haven't had a chance to tell you yet. All the things that got mentioned while we were there. And you, of course, went quickly off after. I don't know who else you've spoken to, but I'm very familiar with Torvi and her husband.
Torvi?
Mm-hmm.
Torvi who?
I believe currently Trimbuson. Prior, Carlo.
And that's no use then, is it, Charlotte?
It's the only Torvi I've ever heard of. She's
And
good.
it's not the one I'm looking for.
Are you so sure?
Of course I'm sure. Mr. Sigurdsson, I have been doing my own research. Thank you very much, Raya.
Shrugs.
And I have found out a few interesting things.
Have you?
I have indeed.
What's that?
I'm not going to tell you here. Fucking who do you think I am?
Fair enough.
Anybody could be watching the fish and listening, Charlotte. The fish.
They probably are.
Exactly. If the fish can hear us, then everybody can hear us. And nope, not a chance. Either way, it is my burden to bear at the end of the day.
It is.
I am honoured that, that I'm quite flattered that you're going about helping. And you know what? It'd be a nice family adventure when we all get together. Be lovely. I'm sure we'll have a brilliant time. Take some pictures. But, end of the day, it is my burden to bear.
Then in the end, should you need anything, I'm here to help.
Well, that's all I can ask for. I've made quite a bit of headway. But there's a few little bits and pieces I still need to figure out. It's a very delicate subject. Very delicate.
I'll again have to take your word on it.
Just a sage nod and smiles like, yeah, yes.
Well, while you've been walking and talking, any chance you heard anything more about the fight that happened?
The fight? Nasty thing. To be honest, I was quite asleep when it happened. And by quite asleep, I mean having horrific nightmares. But other than that, I heard something about a Silver Fang. And don't get Silver Fang. It's politics.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
A lot of
politics
feelings
gone
were
wild.
involved. A lot of things. And yeah, I've heard a few of the people involved are quite, feel a little bit upset about it. So it's not a thing that you want to be poking around while, especially get a running hot. But Ragnar seems alright.
No?
I mean, no.
I said, oh.
Oh! You try to learn to enunciate, Charlotte. It gets confusing.
I'll make note of it.
Hey.
But no, that was an O, as an encouragement too. Elaborate.
No, I'm not going to elaborate, because I don't know.
Well, all right then.
Hey. I think I am. As some form of oracle. I'm only one man, Charlotte. But I'm a very fine man. I can only do so much.
You are only one man, alas. Well, if you do happen to find out more, I know she glances back at Yolanda, and I imagine she would be happy for any enlightenment on the matter.
Oh, I'm sure I could talk to somebody and get, I could figure it out in about 20 minutes.
Now, wouldn't that be a fine thing?
Well, to be fair, the family thing, the gets, that only took about half an hour.
Quirks a brow?
What?
Who did you talk to?
The
It
right
only took
people.
half an hour.
The right people.
That is a very vague answer, good sir.
Aye, and I like to keep it that way. A Galliard never gives away his secrets, taps his nose.
Is that how the saying goes?
Nope, but that's how I say it.
Good man.
Got to stay ahead of the game.
Okay, Yolanda, if you're not going to drink it, just hand it back down. I'll put the cap on it.
She hands it back.
She screws the cap back in, sets the thermos by her feet. You want to contribute? Any opinions? Thoughts?
There's not much to say, really. I have my own opinions about what we need to do regarding that situation, and otherwise, you have said what you needed to say to this man.
That's true, and it doesn't do to talk about it by the water.
No.
See the fish. Are listening. Telling you. Hear every word you're saying.
She taps a finger up alongside her nose. It's the water you gotta watch out for.
No, it's not the water I'm afraid of. Water can be conquered. Just slowly turns and looks down at the water. There's that second of just staring. Hey, you bastard.
Slowly quirks up a brow. Blicks a glance. The slow pan back towards the Raven's cabin. You say so. Not sure how you conquer water.
Not afraid of water. I used to work on a fishing boat.
I didn't say you should be afraid of it. I said it was listening.
Hey, it is listening. And it'll let you know when it's not happy. Trust me. You've been in a capsized boat? No, you don't want to be. It's not nice.
Nope. Definitely not my way of doing things. No.
It's not nice. Honestly. It's not nice. Horrible. Horrific. Very scary. Quite invigorating though.
Is there anything horrifying that you don't find invigorating?
Malpheus.
Good answer.
That was not enjoyable. No, not at all.
No, it wasn't.
But other than that, like I said, balls to the wall. Ride or die. Aye or die. Hey.
How do you fit inside your own skin?
What?
There's just... Your personality fills a fucking room, and we're not even in a room.
It's just a arms up gesture like, "Bloop."
It's not a bad thing, but wow, is it a thing?
And don't you forget it, Raya.
Not for a second. You'd never allow it.
You're goddamn right I wouldn't. Especially since you want to be in your pack. Not a fucking chance. Hey, there you go. Is there anything else, Raya, that you need me for?
Not especially. She kind of squints out at where he's got, whatever, a hole broken or cut through the ice. Are you really ice fishing?
Aye. It's not as easy as it looks.
She glances at the rod that he's got set in the stand. Kind of glances back. I don't know, looks pretty easy.
Oh, it's easy now. I've set everything up. Now it's all about waiting for the perfect moment. The opportune moment, as I like to call it.
Opportune.
The opportune moment. You see, as soon as that line starts to move, see a little highlighted bit on the end of the rod. It gets a little wiggle, like a dog's tail. Little dog's tail, like a chihuahua. Imagine a chihuahua kicking around its tail. And it starts to wiggle like that. That's when you know you're about ready for the money. Give it a little bit. Give it a bit of fight. Let the fish play with the hook and then, whoi! Hook it in. Got yourself a fish. Very simple, very relaxing. Have to do it, calms me down. Lovely. Keeps everything nice and steady.
It's got to be one of the healthiest, calming habits I have seen in a long time.
Well, I've been fishing since I was a wee lad. So why stop now?
I think the only thing that might have you beat is the bird watching. Everyone else is punching stuff, pretty much, across the board.
But to get sept.
Nope. Yes, it is.
The two things my den father encouraged me to do was one was one thing of your own, which was fishing, and I do like a bit of fishing. The other thing, dancing.
Really?
It is at first I didn't quite understand it. Well, dance, it doesn't make any fucking sense. I was just dancing around, but when he's explained it that his den mother before, the den mother taught him that dancing as such actually does quite a lot for you.
It's like the thoughtful little sit back. How's that?
Well, you try doing a fucking foxtrot for an hour, and then we'll talk.
Fair enough. I've never been able to keep up with my dance partners.
Don't worry, I'm sure one day I will teach you how to boogie. Nothing like a good old quick step.
No, there's not. Well, that's a hell of a thing. I think I quite like your den father. At least for this.
Aye. He was a miserable cunt most of the time, but he had his moments.
I mean, back when I was a cub, I thought Lena was a miserable cunt. And I got to know her.
Oh, no, very miserable. He was a lupus after all. So, it's that extra kind of just gruff about him.
Suppose there would be. No one knows the only lupus I've known for any length of time. And I mean, he's the master of the right. We don't exactly cross paths.
Well, there you go. I think about 6. Most of them kin, obviously. But I think about 2 of them, notably Garu, back in the twin monolith. Hey, that sounds about right. Quite rare.
Yeah, I mean, seems like. It's not like we've got a bunch of lupus kin around here. My personal experience is admittedly somewhat limited.
Oh, there you go.
Phew. Finally reached over. Oh,
she is around here somewhere. She's been pretty antisocial since they got back from Malpheus, honestly. Like, she's not sleeping in her room. She's not talking to people. But she's around somewhere.
That is distinctly unhelpful. Where is she?
Over there.
I see you.
Yes, right over there.
What's she doing?
You gotta ask the hard questions.
Yeah, I do. Now you gotta paint a picture. Do it.
Are we Umbra or Tellurian?
Tellurian.
Then probably not weird spirit shit.
I mean, they
actually
just act weird whenever the fuck they want. They don't seem to care.
This is true. And it's the middle of the sept, so it's not like anybody's gonna see her. It's gonna be a problem. No, she'll have come out of the trees, closed whatever distance there is between the trees and the lake, and is just washing something. Has kind of kicked a hole in the ice cover at the edge where it's not super thick, around some reeds, and it's kind of rinsing her hands off. does not appear to have noticed everyone else yet.
The hands slowly come up to cup around her mouth because she is not Alistair McDuncan, and she is not that fucking loud. And eventually, after a brief pause, she gives her a second to see if she like perks up, notices.
Nope.
And finally, it's just Monday.
She actually kind of like startles. Turns over and looks.
Oh,
Mm?
oh, she didn't fall in the water. Hot shit.
Kind
Kind
of
of
blink.
picks up a hand.
Waves. We'll actually start walking in their direction.
Ooh, success.
Aye. Now, if you do that again, Raya, without any warning, after I've just baited, I'm not going to be very happy.
Fair.
I just fed the bait. You don't shout after I've just fed. All the fish come out and they run off.
Wondered how much of that was superstition and how much of that was actually spooking the fish.
So they're out on the water apparently. Or
I presume they're
How far
back on
out
the
is he?
bank.
I
That is.
Just on
wasn't
the
sure how
bank.
far out he'd cut the hole for ice fishing.
It's not that far out.
Mm.
Fishing on the bank.
She'll wait for Melanthe to come the rest of the way over and finally just kind of offer out the thermos.
She has a habit of taking whatever drinks are handed to her, which is potentially not a very good habit, but take the thermos and kind of stares at it.
I mean, you pop it open, like twist the cap off, and there's like, this smells like cocoa. This also smells like rum.
This sounds like the best combination ever.
I mean, Charlotte thought so.
Thank you. It's good.
You considering rejoining civilization, such as it is? Kind of gestures around to the sept.
It seems like a good idea to avoid, well, Calliope for a time, and then literally everyone, actually. What happened?
That is not for discussing here.
Yeah, that is probably better off discussed somewhere else,
Yeah, fair.
admittedly. But
All I know
I mean,
is
you
that
heard
I
what the
went to
rest
get
of us did.
something. Yeah, not much. Mostly screaming.
yeah, there was
Lots
a lot
of
of that.
accusatory screaming.
I can confirm.
And there you have it.
You cannot decide if it is easier at home. There is only one tribe to deal with, or if it is simply a matter of hiding. Probably both.
How's that hiding thing working out besides successfully keeping you away from literally everyone?
I mean, the lack of intertribal politics. But I'm not dead yet, and my jaw has not been rebroken except twice yesterday during training, which does not count.
Nope.
There's nothing wrong with getting your jaw broken a few times. It's called
deserved
character
it.
building.
I deserved it.
And the politics are
Shrugs.
always there. They just never touched you before.
Probably.
That's why I said it felt like perhaps the calm in Greece was a matter of hiding and not anything necessarily productive.
Yep, welcome to the Thunderdome.
Do what?
I will. You know what? That
She
that
says
is a
she looks
question
around as though
best
she's expecting
solved by Google.
children of Grandfather Thunder to come out of the woodwork. It's like, what?
That is. You know what? Unless you want to take this one, McD.
What?
That is probably a question better answered by Google.
What is? I wasn't listening.
The Thunderdome.
So what about it?
She doesn't know what it is.
I was surprised. She lived in Greece, woman, for fuck's sake.
What? They just don't hear about the Thunderdome in Greece?
Oh, it's fucking the Yank over here thinking their influence spreads across the fucking world. Come here.
It's called the internet. It literally is across the world.
The squids. Hey, you bloody Americans.
And Melinda kind of looks at her and then pauses and was just like, until I got a smartphone, which there is no reception near my laptop at home, yes?
You see? Look at that.
We had one phone line in my house. There is still one phone line in my house. We have dial-up, yes. The screen. Ding, ding, ding.
Charlotte looks morally offended.
That one. So I look at some things, but it always takes so much time. I'm catching up. I'm not entirely sure all of it is worth catching up on.
Hey, you see? Look at that.
There's just like that little pursed look for a second. It occurs to me that a Furious Sept might not be the best place to expect exposure to the internet. Oh, God. Yep, there's a lot of catching up. Most of it isn't worth knowing. But it's good for slang. And needless references. Like the Thunderdome.
And Netflix.
And Netflix. Netflix is good.
You learn to appreciate the Netflix.
I don't have Flix.
It's alright, don't worry about it.
Okay.
I do, however, have a net. Lifts up his net.
He does have a net?
Aye.
But ice fishing?
You never know when you need a net.
Fair. Have you got anything yet?
Aye. I've caught a few. A few bream. A few perch. I fucking hate perch. But aye, perch nonetheless. Spines get me every time. Every fucking time.
Oh.
One thing, like one time you think you've got it, you think you've got the fish in your hands properly, it wiggles, and then you got about 50 spines in your fucking hand.
Ew. Ew.
Hey, it's not the fish's fault.
I mean, no. The fish is doing fish things.
Hey.
But, ugh.
Could be worse. It's like the worst thing is eels. Fucking hate eels. Ugh. Ugh. No, don't like them.
Eel is delicious.
I mean, they're great on sushi, but I can't fathom the fishing process.
Nope. I just don't want to catch them. They come up, you have to pick them up in the big nets and drop them on the deck. There'd be
Ew.
eels spoiling out of them. You try and pick them up to chuck them back, and they just kind of shit goo all over you.
Or the eel traps.
What?
Eel traps.
Right, but that's if you want to catch eels. You don't want to catch eels.
Of course I do.
That's what you
delicious.
do. Aye, but they don't sell well on the market.
Oh.
You know, the fishing boat. You know, you go after what sells. You go for your cod, your haddock. No, you go for your sardines, your mackerel, anything like that.
Oh, we don't sell fish. We sell goat cheese and things.
Oh, there you go. You know what? We could make a lovely, lovely appetizer. Goat cheese and a bit of mackerel. Oh,
She kind of like wanders over to go poke at his bait bucket.
it's just worms. Like, well, what do you imagine to be worms? And then there's next to it, actually, seeing as now you've paid attention, there's two cans. a can of sweet corn, and a can of luncheon meat.
She just looks at the cans like, what on earth
What?
is this?
It's bait.
For what?
The fish.
It's in a can.
Aye, sweet corn. Look. You can go to the fishing stores and buy all the the actual bait, the bloodworms and all that. The thing is, if you feed fish bloodworm all the time, they get used to it and they go nuts for it. You don't want to give them bloodworm. Oh no. See, there's regular bait. It's fair enough, a bit of maggot, a bit of mealworm. No, they like that. But I'll tell you what, if you want the cheap stuff, sweet corn. Can of sweet corn. They love it. Absolutely love it. And a bit of luncheon meat for the perch.
Don't
We must
bloodworms
use offal.
bite?
No?
I think that is the word. Awful?
Awful?
Yes.
No, it's not
Yeah.
awful. It works wonderfully.
And now
Charlotte's
she looks
like-
very uncertain, like maybe it wasn't the right word.
She proceeds to do the "that's none of my business" swig out of the fucking thermos.
It is not awful. It is just no.
Oh,
Oh
it's not.
no.
Same sound, different spelling. You had the right word.
What?
Guts. Awful.
Oh, awful.
There's another word for it.
No, I know what you mean, like cow guts and shit. No, it's awful. Awful is awful.
That's why we feed it to the fish. Well, the ones that we don't use.
Oh no, you feed that to anything. Fuck it, chuck it overboard. Nope. But if you are inland fishing, depending on what you're doing, if you're in a still lake, sweet corn and luncheon meat, tell you, kills them every time. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. To be biting at your hook in the summer, no matter that. Winter, it's a little bit different. Fish are a little bit sleepy in the winter. It's fine. They still bite.
Just sing to it.
What?
You've never fished with a wakened bait before, have you?
Why would I do that?
I suppose it's kind of cheating.
It is cheating. It is very much cheating. Thank you very much. It's like using bloodworms. You don't use bloodworms.
She's grinning like an idiot, though. But it works.
It takes away the whole tranquility of fishing. If I'm pulling fish out every 30 seconds, then what's the point? I'll have the lake clean in about 30 minutes.
Fishing is for food.
No, fishing is for relaxing. I don't catch these things and eat them. I throw them back.
You do. You don't eat fish.
I do eat fish, not these fish. Not
What
river
kind of-
fish. You don't eat river fish
Yeah. Some of them are
or
good.
lake fish, especially lake fish. You don't know what they're eating. Bottom feeders, the guts are filled with shite.
But
It's like
then
eating a
why don't
carp.
you keep
I've
your
never
legs
eaten a carp,
clean?
Melanthe. Carp.
What's wrong with? I have heard it's good.
No, it's not. It's awful.
No, I have a cousin who moved to Germany. They have like festivals.
A carp? Ugh, no. Well, the Germans will eat fucking anything. Ugh. No.
She likes them.
Oh, each to their own. But it's terrible.
Says the man who is catching fish and not eating them, but
Is there
slaughtering
anything
them
wrong
instead.
with that?
Yes.
Are you challenging me about it?
Be an awful funny thing to challenge him over, since he got the warder's permission, or pardon, the keeper of the land's permission to do it in the first place.
Aye.
She's just looking at him like, you're crazy. Why would I challenge you over fish?
Aye. And if you don't mind, Melanthe, wind your fucking neck in.
Huh?
You just see he just smiles and sits back down in his little bait box.
She's literally no idea what he said. She's just like, okay, sure.
Yolana's just eating her pocket deer at this point.
Did you need something, Charlotte?
Mostly wanted to make sure you hadn't lost your sanity off playing hermit.
Your absence has been noticed.
That's a way to put it too, yeah.
No, just attempting to keep my skin.
No one's gonna skin you here. We're all submates.
That's
Sometimes there are blows, especially when it gets up.
You need to
But no
be
one's
out
gonna
more
skin
often.
you. I don't think I've ever even actually seen anyone actually lose anything permanently except in an official punishment. Well, I don't think I've even seen that.
well, I recognize that things grow back.
It's unpleasant.
The last few days have been more interesting than I was prepared to deal with, so it seemed best to make my scheduled appearances in the morning at the training grounds and otherwise avoid everyone.
I'll give you free advice. It's a lot better to be seen and take whatever looks are coming than to hide from them, especially when it gets up.
I'm not hiding from specific things. I know when I'm deserving of that kind of thing. But that brawl was ripe for a frenzy, and I wanted nothing to do with it.
It was a good idea to walk away from it. But it'll do you a lot better to be seen.
You do
Seen
not have
doing
the
what, Rhea?
convenience. You never had the convenience. You must be seen and you must do.
Thank you ever so much. I have been doing. I need to speak with the fire spirits again. Before we face the Black Blade.
Well,
Or attempt to. I don't know if they can do it or if they will be willing, but firearms require fire, no?
there's kind of a thoughtful squint.
To work properly, to not work improperly. It is very precise fire.
Yeah. Suppose so.
Well, we need very imprecise fire then. I am hoping to speak with them and come to an accord.
Be a step. I've got a trick, but it's a lot harder with simple things like guns.
I have been considering what to offer them, though. It is a... For a handful, it would be one thing, but there are more than a handful, so they will need something large. And they will want something of me, not merely... And she kind of gestures vaguely, burning down that town or something. They would like that, but it's not the same.
I don't know, you could pull an anime move and let them have most of your hair. Whack it off and feed it to them. She just kind of shrugs because she's seen House Moving Castle.
It's hairy grows back. This is big and possibly dangerous for them. I don't know. I have... And she just kind of sags a little bit. I have a thought. It is just not what I like. But Chiminage is not worth much if it is no meaning.
Well, it's not. Looks like Haley's over there. I suppose you could always get a second opinion from another Theurge.
That's a thought. They look easy.
At this point, McD stands up, takes a few steps forward, looks over. There's a second where he's thinking, No, Charlotte could probably see it because he's facing that way. But no, he's slightly disgruntled at the amount of shouting coming out from over there. And then eventually, of course, he just decides, Steve! Dave!
Steve will look over after slapping Ragnar's hand off the pole. No, your bait's raw. What?
Stop fucking shouting! Scaring away the fucking fish!
Yeah, well, you can deal with this, you little dozy bollocks. He's
Right.
fucking the fish line. I am not fucking the fish line. You're fucking. They start like slapping each other essentially, playfully.
Alright, and starts marching over.
Oh,
Charlotte,
there you go.
watch the fucking rod.
Yep, watching for the tail wag. Got it.
Starts marching over.
Charlotte's just looking at this pole like, I don't know what to do when it happens, but I'm gonna watch it.
You hear Ragnar, listen here, leprechaun. I didn't fuck the fish line. You fucked the fish line. Oh, don't talk to me, Viking. You know what I mean? They just angrily start fishing.
Hey! Listen, both of yous. What are you using to bait? Huh? Come on. Spit it out now.
That is my business. Alistair, I'm using my wife's recipe. So there.
Oh, you're using your wife. Oh, that's very nice, Steve.
Recipe.
It is.
How is the wife?
She's good.
Oh, it's good
It's great,
to hear.
actually. Yeah.
Good to hear. You know, Agnes has been asking about it, that's all.
Yeah, man.
Oh, wonderful.
Drugs.
Have to come around for dinner sometime.
Yeah,
But anyway,
She doesn't like new people, Alistair. You don't want to rush her.
well, I'm not rushing her. Not rushing her at all. Take your time whenever she's ready. Oh, offers there, Steve. You know, whenever she's ready. And he just turns to look at Ragnar. And you.
Hello.
Which one of you is fucking up the line? And stop bloody shouting. You're scaring the bastard fish.
I am not shouting.
You're both shouting.
He's the one shouting. Look at him.
Looks at Steve.
Vibrating, like getting ready to shout, essentially. You know what Steve's about. You know how Steve is.
With all due respect, Raya, don't do it.
Listen, I didn't fuck the bait line, Alistair.
All right.
I used the secret trick my wife taught me. That's what I'm doing.
All right, that's fine. All right. How did you fuck the bait line? How was the bait line fucked? All right. Let's start there.
They point. Both their lines are intertangled
Holy
because they've been slapping each other so much.
It just hurts to look at. What have you been doing? Trying to strangle each other with it?
They both do the look at the ground like no. Listen, he started it.
I don't care who fucking started it.
Besides, we're catching more fish.
He kind of looks at the line.
They're not catching anything. Ragnar's just staring, like you know that fucking mad world look on his face as he's just watching. Because every time Steve tugs, the line goes woof, and his rod nearly goes into the water.
All right, okay. Let me put it simple. As you both know, I'm quite a jolly, happy man. However, when somebody's shouting and I'm trying to feckin' fish, we're going to have a real problem. Now, I'm more than happy to sort this out for you and show you. But keep your voice down.
Hang on there now, Alistair. Don't be raising your voice at me there.
I'm not raising my voice. I'm being very clear with you, Steve.
No. Hang on there now, Alistair. Hang on there. I'm working my fish line. You go over there with your fish. Don't be getting the big man at me now, son.
I'm not getting the big man. I'm telling you to shut your fucking trap.
Oh, well, you go. Steve starts to bristle, essentially.
They're
Ragnar
all yelling.
Ragnar just rubs his face like, here we go again.
Yeah, they are. Yes,
There
all
they
of
go.
them.
I'll have you know I'm the best fisher in Ireland, Steve. Steve, that's my name. The best fisher in Ireland.
I thought you slipped up there, Steve. Are you drunk already? Is that it?
Do you have a problem with that? That I like to drink while I fish?
Of course I don't. I like to do the same.
Well, there you go then. I don't know why you're judging me, Scottish man.
I'm not.
That's right.
We're pointing out facts now. Is that it?
We are indeed. That's what you get for
Is there
getting
a
bristly.
problem with being Scottish?
I never said there was. Is there a problem with being Irish?
I never said there was.
No,
I
you
believe it was Ragnar.
seem to plenty insinuated.
I
Ragnar.
believe it was Ragnar that said there was a problem.
What?
He said, "Call you a leprechaun."
I would like turns. You did and all. I'll get you for that later.
Hey,
Ragnar just gives you the look like, why you gotta, you know what I mean? Like, why you gotta fuck me? You know what I mean? Hey, listen. He started it by fucking the fish line. So, and then
all
no,
right.
don't bring me into your Fiona fucking. Let's turn on the get here. No, we're not doing that.
Ragnar, if I was turning on you, mate, I'd already broken your fucking jaw.
Oh,
Oh,
sassy.
don't worry. Hey, I'm putting it out there. Hey, look at
Oh,
that.
sassy.
Hey,
I like it.
Galliard, what do you expect? You little piece of shit.
Oh,
Now,
oh, I
I'm
like
going to sort these lines out for you. If you have them tangled within 5 minutes, I'll neck you with them.
Steve
That's a
just
deal.
like Steve just picks up the bottle and takes a swig. Oh yeah, no. Everyone's
Oh,
like, Steve, don't go fishing. No, it's
oh.
fine.
Do you want me to sort the lines out for you, Steve? Or are you just going to sit here moaning about it?
I'll do what I want, Alistair. And you can
Aye,
sort
what
the
do
lines,
you
but I'll
want?
still moan about it because that's I can moan. I can moan.
Aye.
The wife is not here. I can moan. Hands
Aye,
on
you
his
can
hips.
moan. Look, you're free to moan all you want. Just moan quietly if you don't mind.
I will moan as loud as I like and as fondly as I like. And you know what? Alistair?
What?
It's liberating to be able to moan.
Aye, and it is. That's why I come fishing. It's liberating.
Oh, there you go.
Freedom.
So let me have my liberations and you have yours over there. Where we're not getting on each other's nerves.
Oh, am I getting on your nerves now, Steve? Is that it?
Now we're getting on each other's
Oh,
nerves.
oh, is that it? I thought
No.
I'd come over and try and help you out a little bit since you had a bit of trouble. I was a little bit at high rate, but I'm calmed down now.
Oh, well. But sure. No, that's fine, Alistair. It's fine.
What?
Get
What?
it. No.
What? Get what? Huh? What's you insinuating now, Steve?
I have not. I'm
I
just throws up his hands.
What? Huh?
Don't worry about it. Fucking, tries to reach in for his bag for more fish and bait and booze. So Ragnar just rubs his face again.
Right. I will sort these lines out for you. Alright? Yes? No?
I don't mind. Ragnar just sits down in the fucking
I know
stove.
you don't fucking mind. I mean him.
Oh, thank you, Your Majesty. Steve does the big theatrical bow.
Aye, that's a bit more like it. Let's keep it like that, Steve. I like that.
Shove it up your hole, you Scottish prick, as he's picking up a bottle of booze.
I know you will.
It seems like he's like taking the drink, essentially.
Yeah, I think we'll just go and fix their fucking shit.
The Ragabash continue to bitch at each other, essentially. Somebody's talking to Melanie.
I have no clue at this point. I'm trying to keep track of who's where, and I've lost it.
Melanie is off a ways from Haley and the crew, Lennon and the Cubs, and the two Ragabashes. She's just down by the way, picking up idle stones, examining them, then tossing them back in. Melanie is the Theurge and Beta of the Striders of the Ice Wolf. She's the Silver Fang from House Unbreakable Hearth.
Okay. Then yeah, she's certainly more likely to go talk to the Fostern than the individual currently eating the bait. If she wants advice.
Haley is, and just Charles is like, Haley, stop. She's like, just dips his head down.
It's sweet corn. It's delicious.
That's pretty much how it is.
Better not be touching me fucking sweet corn.
His sweet corn is gone. No one knows where the can went. It has evaporated. So yes, actually, she will attempt to sidle around the up and down argument currently taking place and approach Melanie.
Melanie just looks over as you, come over, and she kind of just, she turns and she's like, taking her shoes off and rolled up her fucking pants up so she can put her feet in the water. She looks very much bird-like as she's bending down as well.
Melanie will approach at a polite distance and kind of pause and bow, sort of. It's, it's, rank is rank. Although it's clearly not a particularly formal situation.
Just look over. You need something?
I had the urge question. I had an idea for dealing with some of the Black Blades army, but I wasn't sure if it would work.
What was your idea?
They use a lot of firearms. A lot of them. And it occurred to me that if we could convince the fire spirits to interfere, it could improve our odds rather drastically.
It depends. But spirits at risk, and then again, it's not like they're operating off gunpowder. I suppose you could do some damage when the firearm goes off. She kind of, twiddles her head as she's, picking up a stone and examining it, and then throws it back in. It's not a bad idea. It's just that you'll have to think of suitable tuminage.
I thought something rather dear for this.
What did you have in mind?
Dangerous. I raise bees. I have several hives now, thankfully, but they are my children as much as anything. Although they are still just bees, I suppose. But hives burn very, very well if you let them.
You're going to burn your hives?
Not all of them. Not all of them.
And that is your trade, isn't it?
I could simply offer to give them the city and all the bodies, but that is more of an afterthought than a pledge beforehand. Well, I suppose it is not a city. It looks like one, but it's little. Where we fought them, though. It would burn too. Oh. Quick, intermission song, go.
Try the popcorn or a carbonated soda.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to
There we go. My fucking router had a bit of a heart attack, sorry.
They do that.
Yeah. Melanie will turn to you very calmly and what is you have a connection to the bees, if I remember Forgotten Art saying.
Not in a truly spiritual sense. I've brought them with me, though. I've raised them for a long time.
there's no sense in burning the things that are that level of attached to you. You could. What else could you have? Burning the bees is good, but
Perhaps a last-ditch effort for something else.
she'll nod and smile. There's no sense in sacrificing everything. Perhaps maybe something that you have made with great effort and celebrated by burning it. The get offenders do follow fire, Drake. That could be something you could look into too.
To craft something specifically for Chiminage and then burn it.
Nods, a great offering to a mighty fire spirit or a mighty dragon would, I think, have a far more, she kind of gestures out, grandiose effect. Maybe. But to sacrifice something that you have put so much time and effort and diligence to and something that you'd enjoy, yes, it would work for, but she kind of just shrugs.
She looks relieved.
I wouldn't. She'd turn over and give her like a very genuine smile. Like she seems quite approachable. I wouldn't sacrifice so many things for something that can be readily replaced so quickly. We can always have fire spirit chiminage. We can always have this. Save that for the things that really matter. Save that for your
Nods.
pack if they're in
I'm
desperate need.
Still working on that.
Well, save it for the people that are in desperate need. In fact,
She nods.
gesture out. Rather than sacrifice something of your own, think of the people around you. Imagine the people seeing you craft this mighty thing to burn. I know for a fact that get offenders will go nuts out in joy.
Perhaps an effigy burned to honor instead of as it is often done.
Just smile, click her fingers. Now you're thinking.
And then others could carve things, could bring things to build it together.
That sounds
The
like you have.
theurges at home often negotiate with packs and septs to bring larger chiminage.
Well, that seems like someone who is trying to blend into the world around them, but also keeping to their own beliefs and cultural systems. If anything, Malantha, you just answered your own question for yourself. She'll smile, very fondly.
And she nods, like kind of like jerky, like yeah, I think I did. Thank you, Dark Feather Raya. It's it still feels strange here. And confusing.
Well, it could be worse. Just look over and smile.
This is so?
You're not at least you are a Black Fury and you have plenty of sisters on the sept. There is always that.
Some of them are mad at me, but that will never change, even at home.
Just smile. I'm sure you'll figure it out eventually.
Of course.
She just kind of idly smiles. It goes back to picking up, collecting various things. Obviously, she's trying to examine them and see. She's looking for some sort of stone material. She's just kind of looking through. She seems quite, happy with herself.
And as they pitter off a little bit conversation-wise, Charlotte will be coming closer. She's ambling and taking her time, so she's not interrupting, but she's en route.
Yeah, Melanie, look over with the age in her eyes. Yes, Raya?
I was actually hoping to ask you for some advice.
I'm always open to give advice to Adrians who deem me honorable to give advice.
There are precious few better suited.
Just just that kind of lopsided like shoulder up and down type thing.
Bleh. I think it's long past time I put together a pack. That means I'll need a totem. That means consulting theurges.
What are you looking for with your pack? She'll say, smiling.
I want us to be a group that remind the nation that we should be fighting our enemies, not each other. Remember that in the end,
It's
no
an
matter how
admirable
much
goal.
we quarrel, we are still family.
Family. She'll look over and smirk. She's picking up one of the rocks. I wouldn't quite call each other that.
It's
Sounds too Chippendale, if I'm honest.
it's a broad generalization, but in the end, we're all supposed to be fighting on the same side.
Smirks. Family. Does that 90s, cheesy,
Correct.
commercial smile?
She has
Like
that
looking
little
off into the
glance away,
camera.
like I'm not smiling.
Very distant cousins.
Very distant, several times removed, several generations removed. All of creation
how do you
has
mean to
been
go-
removed.
And how do you mean to go about that as a glasswalker? That is what I'm asking. What are you intending to do with it? It's all very well to speak that you wish to bring peace and truth, this and that. What do you plan to do? Do you plan to serenade everybody with your ideals? Do you plan to bring a fist to unite? What's the goal? It's all very well speaking it in a broad, liberistic, idealistic sense. What's the
Fair
action
enough.
behind it?
As childish as it sounds, to convince them of it. Remind them of it.
To be an example,
Remind-
perhaps.
Remind them how. See, the tone reminding, the turn, putting our hands together, sounds very, in some cases, condescending to people. As if you know better than they ever will. When they come from different perspectives and you come from yours, how can you meet in the middle?
In my experience, the best way to do it is to forge alliances on both sides, give them a mutual point, give them something they can agree on, both stand beside.
Now you're thinking, but I would lose the tone you have behind it. Remember, these people come from their world and they have fought to get there, just as you have fought to get where you have. That is my only advice.
I accept it gratefully.
Otherwise, it's a sad, sad road for everybody. She just, picks up something and tosses it into the lake.
Yeah, there's a kind of a wry glance. My tone's needed a lot of
totem
work
I-
lately.
Totem I would recommend would be Harrier. It is the symbol of my House Unbreakable Hearth. It is we in House Unbreakable Hearth apply several alliances to several of the tribes in order to coexist, to give them their stock and stay, but also maintain alliances to fight the worm. We don't interfere in their business, but then again, we don't try and rush. We are patient, we are ever waiting, and we are ever prosperous because of this. And we have averted many, many treaties and many, many crises in the nation through this. It's how we operate.
It honestly sounds ideal.
We have our flaws like anyone, but we try to work through it.
She nods, kind of thoughtfully, actually. Loses some of the held herself up, all formal like. And honestly, if you'd be willing to tell me more sometime, I'd like to understand more about the houses as much as is acceptable, of course.
To give you a smile, depends. I can tell you the bare minimum of each house, but honestly, to understand the Silverfang, you go talk to a different Silverfang. Each Silverfang will have a different perspective, for each Silverfang has come from a different place. I can't tell you what a Gleaming Eye or a Crescent Moon will think. I can tell you only what I know from the histories, what we were taught.
No, but I would like to know more, especially about your house, if this is what they do. About your totem.
I can teach you about the totem. I'm not being offensive, Raya, but we all must have our own business.
There are lines. No, I know.
But if you are following Harrier, this is why I'm speaking to you. You must listen before you speak, and when there is a debate, you have to wait and choose the right moment.
Do not.
You must learn to guide your hand. That doesn't mean that you'll become swift, though, fast, but again, that is to be there, to be present. And that is something that you need to consider before you take members of that. Those who are quick of temper must learn to curb it, because then quick of temper will burn them and defeat the whole point for following under Harrier. Is Falcon's brood, after all. Falcon's brood. She pats her chest. We may be prideful. We can also learn to be graceful.
Again, she nods. Thankfully, even. Make sure I put serious thought to it.
If you are looking to commune with Harrier, I can assist. I have a certain affiliation with it. Your Theurge, whoever you choose, will need to do the following, and he will be given a task you must do to earn your right to stand under such a mighty totem. Falcon's brood is nothing to balk at.
No, it's not. Suppose I'll have to find a Theurge. Slow side glance.
You'll have to do more than that, as Melanie's just turning to walk. You'll need a pack, and we're all driving for the same purpose. And also, Melanthe is a good choice. Her breed is strong. Remember, you're dealing with Falcon's brood. The breed is strong. She just, keeps walking.
There's like that little nose wrinkle of course. That thing I don't have any of. Lovely. I'm sure I'll make a great first impression.
You give the nose wrinkle, and Melanie just gives the frown, and you're the alpha, yes?
Yes.
Then stand before it like one. You may not have the pure breed, but you're an alpha. You come all meek and worrying about what you don't have. It will laugh you out of the area because you are not representative. You're not wise to accept that is a limitation that you cannot control. But that does not mean it becomes a limp. She says that quite sternly. You know what I mean? Very Silverfang. Very Silverfang.
Ooh. And again, it's just kind of a nod of concession. This is a Theurge talking about a spirit. She's going to take it all as rote.
Melanie
and
just
be
nods.
thankful it gets shared.
Melanie just nods. Like, there you go. It's almost like she feels ways about people fucking with her brood. You know what I mean? And she keeps walking.
Yep, she will let Melanie escape. Escape. We'll finally kind of turn back, towards Melanthe and, continue turning kind of back towards where she has abandoned Yolana with the fishing rod.
She's just sitting there with that fucking fishing pole eating jerky. Like, fuck. Actually, you can't even tell, man. Like, there's a lot of meat preservation tactics in Yolana's life. And she knows where Lena is at all fucking times. She's watching that pole with one eye, watching Lena with the other, and eating her fucking dried meat.
Lena's just watching the the Ragabash cub just flounder in the water. She just stares at him.
Why is he in the water?
Well, you can go over and find out.
She
Sitting there
probably
like,
will.
God damn.
Melanthe's just kind of watching everything from a distance. Definitely not eavesdropping.
Get good advice?
Okay.
Definitely eavesdropping.
That was to you.
Sure. It sounded good.
Did you
They're
get good
so-
advice?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Very good advice, actually.
There you go.
I need to remember to stop trying to do everything alone.
You do?
I do.
She'll actually like reach out, give her a, kind of that brusque pat on the back of the shoulder. There's a whole sept of us.
I know. And it is my sept, and I have to remember that.
You do? Gives a firm nod, smiling faintly, kind of finally pokes her nose off in the appropriate direction. I'm going to see why. Well, he must not be drowning, or she'd be pulling him out. So, gonna figure out what's going on. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of curious. I don't remember this training.
It looks incredibly cold. So, I
Yep.
will stay on the bank.
Good plan. Flashes her the thumbs up, stuffs hands in pockets, starts wandering over to see what the hell one of the cubs is doing in the lake. It looked like they were trying to learn to fish. Why is he in the lake?
You watch as Lena has taught them to go across the ice water, the very like loose bits, managing going through, and he's floundered in and trying to scramble out, like and I was just staring at him like, "Come on, Frankie, get up." He's like, "No, it's cold." He's just flapping. She's just staring at him. Get up. Ben Father isn't here to help this time. We're going to get this right. Get up. That's basically what you hear.
So essentially, someone fucked up learning how to get over cracked or thin
Mhm.
ice.
Mm-hmm.
And
She's
I
not helping him.
assume, I assume she is close enough that in a pinch, if he actually starts drowning, she can
Yep.
fucking snag him. Yeah,
Yep.
she just kind of. She doesn't move in close enough to interfere with the interaction going on because she doesn't want to do that. This is a cub class, and she is not a fucking cub. But she will get in position close enough to hear and see. That poor guy.
Aileen is just lying there, spread eagled on the bank, like, "Oh, I'm alive." You know what I mean? Get up, Frankie, or I'll pick up the rock again. Come on, push your legs. You can swim. Stop panicking. And he's just like hyperventilating, and she just sighs, reaches in, grabs him by the hair, and just yanks him out. He yelps like, "You know what I mean?" Flailing.
So classic Lena.
Throws her down, slumps him down on the ground quite aggressively. That's twice. There won't be a third time, Frankie. You have to support your cub mate, and you eventually have to support your step mates. You have to learn to adapt to an environment. Afiana died because he didn't. Be better. Now, Aileen, get him some rest, and try it again. She just dutifully nods and is like busy trying to like hyperventilate him as this poor kid. You know what I mean? Then he'll just stand there sternly, watching over the lake, waiting for them to get their shit together.
Yeah, admittedly, she's not going to interrupt. Not during this. But she does, I mean, she's lingered a bit off, down the one side of the bank, close enough to hear and see. But she's curious.
Eventually, like I mean, you look up and Lena's just staring right the fuck at you, like that kind of stare of yes, you know what I mean?
Just gives the nod a whiff.
Just nods. Got the impression is like if you're going to fucking interfere, you know what I mean? Stare, you know what I mean? As
Nope.
Lena's doing.
So much nope. The arms are in and everything. This is the I'm not fucking with nothing.
And the poor kid starts to run across the ice. Aileen takes her time, very carefully. There's a bit of a stumble. They're like, ugh. This poor kid is just run as fast as I.
The hand goes up to the face.
He tries to climb out, and then it picks up a rock and thump in the side of the head. He falls back in. You hear, I'm drowning! You're not drowning. You know what I mean? You just basically hear that.
Yeah, she'll amble back towards the rest of the group. And I ain't gonna let her drown.
I'm drowning! Oh God, I'm drowning! You're not drowning. You just hear the stern tone.
But yes, I can tell how much you're not breathing by how much you're screaming, Tone.
Levi! That's basically what you like. That's the last thing you hear.
Just look at Charlotte. Was this productive?
Just looking in. Or you mean the talk with Melanie?
Either.
Potentially very productive.
I am going to say something, and you may punish me later.
You would have to do one hell of a thing, or say one hell of a thing, for me to bother. I thought,
You do not carry yourself like an Adrian, and it is hurting us.
she's just got that glance. No, she's not.
I admit the others seem more experienced and they may strike you down, but you must walk confidently. I have already made myself outcast by recognizing you as Alpha.
Then I suppose I'll have to pull myself up by my proverbial bootstraps, won't I?
I always hated that phrase.
It's kind of nonsensical. In fact, it's patently nonsensical.
Yes. I do not know how far she can hear these wolves of wolves. They only value strength and confidence. It is their way.
You have one, but not the other.
No less than 8 times I hear them say, "You are an Adrian, you are an Adrian, act like an Adrian."
There's a wry little tight smile. I know.
I say you may be Philodox, but if one of them comes at you that way again, punch them in the throat. You may not win, but punch them in the throat.
You heard her, Charlotte. Punch in the throat.
Glance
calls out.
back.
Waves at Johanna, smiling.
Like there's that look
Walking
of
over.
and
I
Yolanda
roll.
just sinks into the
I roll.
kneel.
Unfortunately, I rolled. She got 3 9s. So it's
Yeah,
like, oh
yeah.
shit.
I mean, Charlotte's got that broad
Fucking-
smile when she gets a call out.
Yolanda just
You heard
sinks
her.
into the kneel. Oh shit! I gotta get the. I'll be right back.
Oh,
Melanthe will
but she's-
as well.
No, then I'll say it loud. You heard her, Charlotte. She thinks you're weak. Which implies that my training on you wasn't good enough.
oh.
If that's what she's saying. After all, wolves of wolves and all that. Look here, Cubs. She brings. The guy is completely waterlogged. And puts him right beside her, puts Aileen right beside her. This is one of my best students, and she's going to show you what you do to people who imply that you're weak.
As soon as Bob gets back from answering the door.
Meanwhile, it's a short intermission. McDuncan, annoyed by the sense that everybody and their fucking mother is shouting around his fishing time, I start to pack things up.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
So Len will walk over and say, after all, the cleat implies that you're weak. And yes, Black Fury, I can hear that you're going to become a hermit and we are all insane. If you call us all insane one more time, I will take your tongue. Especially when I'm teaching a lesson.
Yes, Raya.
She
Not
was
you,
talking
her.
to me, Yolana. You're fine.
You I'm about to deal with. Charlotte, you are my best student. One of the best. You are implied as weak by a person who has not earned your rank. Believe have I not taught you right on what to do with that? Will you show the cubs how to deal with that?
Yep, Charlotte has been fucking cornered like a champion. How far down has Yolana managed to get by time Lena has dragged 2 cubs over?
Oh, she's in a kneel, dude. She's good at that shit.
Merlanthe is as well. 'Cause this wasn't a one-sided conversation. There were 3 people involved. She'll own up to that.
Well, suppose that's about to happen. And yeah, with Lena looking over, she can't half-ass it either. So she will just nod, turn around, pick a foot up, and essentially just apply the boot to Yolana's shoulder to spill her onto the ground. She's already in a kneel, so she doesn't need to do anything like a sweep.
Yeah, it happens pretty easily.
Yeah, no, she applies the boot. I mean, gruffly enough to send her actually like hitting the ground. And it, not enough to give her a concussion, but enough to fucking sting. No, gives her the boot. Takes the step over to make up the distance. And just very calmly picks up the boot again. Sets it so that she's got her heel just touching the snow, just on the ground. The rest of the boot up over her throat. Finally, gradually. No, actually, she won't do that. She just stands there. Shoe over throat. About as thorough as she can make it. Would you like to debate the matter further? Glances back at Melanthe in the meantime. All the way down.
And she rolls over.
And she'll even be, use the edge of the sole of the boot, nudge Alana's chin up about as far as she can readily do it with her head back against the ground. And just honestly hold the stance. At least for a hot minute. Probably to the count of, a very nice, languid, slow count of 10. Removes the boot. Stands there, still looking down at her. Stay there. Well, he turns a glance.
Those guys are arms folded watching. Sternly. Very, very sternly. To the cubs. You see? Disrespect the rank. You get put to the dirt. And if you are of any rank, and you hear yourself being disrespected, you put them into the dirt. For they have not risen to your station yet. Remember, we have laws. We are not insane. We do not hide, and we're not wolves of wolves. We are Guru. And we follow a code. She looks firmly at the cubs, each of them nodding nervously, and she'll just shoo them off. I trust you can handle a bunch of cleats, Charlotte. Yuff.
He bows the head.
The next time I hear them talking about wolves of wolves in my presence again, I will handle it. Not towards you, but I will not have my people, and except run by my people, disrespected. Is that clear? And she says that to the Furies, like such an authoritative tone.
Yolanda can't talk. She's got a little shoe in her fucking throat, but she tries.
She's pulled the boot back.
Why you gotta do this to me? Yes, Raya.
Of course, Raya.
Good. She starts, walking back after the cubs, like, on her heel, turning, walking.
And Charlotte will stand there, let her go, pick her head up a bit, and wait until she's gotten to the point where she's re-engaged the cub on the next step of whatever lesson they're doing. Before finally saying, get up, keep your head low for a while. Lower than mine anyways.
She'll roll back to her feet.
She'll get up.
I appreciate the food for thought. I'll be going. There's a glance.
Am I dismissed? Raya.
You're dismissed.
Yolanda leaves.
You.
I do not know that I need to be dismissed, per se, but if you wanted to talk more, Raya, perhaps elsewhere.
Yes. Elsewhere. She just kind of orients, kind of glances over. What I assume McDuncan has stormed off with his fishing ruined.
There is a disgruntled McDuncan putting his salvaged can of sweet corn that he's found several feet away from his fishing box, empty, putting it back in the tackle box. You can hear him chuntering to himself as he's putting things away. But picks up the box, slings the rod over his shoulder.
Oh, she ain't gonna further disgruntle a disgruntled Fiona. Ain't no sense in that. So no, she'll just pick her head up and head off. If he does happen to glance over, if she manages to catch his eye, he'll get an idle nod, but...
Oh, he has to walk past you, per se, so kind of like, yeah, and I hit his peripherals. So you turn to him. You just get that bright smile, smiles like, hey.
She didn't expect the bright smile in the middle of all the grumbling. Catch a brief, perplexed look. Until next time, McDuncan, it's always a pleasure.
Hey, pleasure is all mine, Raya. Now, I am going to go and get some food.
There's a firm nod, because that is always the right plan.
Then after that, I think a bath is in order. Oh, I do love a bubble bath.
Charlotte will try to keep her composure as she's going and hearing McDuncan go on about bubble baths.
Well, Anthony's just staring, like, sure. All right, then.
Yep, it just marches on his way.
That's swagger. Well, very well. Is anyone else doing anything?
Nah, Yolanda's going home all huffy and shit. She's out on like 5 rage.
Oh, Yolanda. Good job. Very well. Then I think we will call it a scene. Thank you all for showing up. Yay!